Yeah. What? Oh, give a gift to the world. March 18th, make your toe curl. You heard of the Ides of March, but 3 days later, some shit had to start. Well, stop. Everything's a cycle, a circle. That could be life or death, not necessarily mutually exclusive. This is my first freestyle. In my 38th rotation, they call it the born day. Am I a creation or just stuck in somebody else's imagination? Simulation theory got a lot of legs, but nobody wanna appreciate them stems or them yams. But they always wanna observe the flower. Yeah. Shout out to Batman. Batman. I love these beats, player. I love them, player. That one is called To the World. That was one of the ones that I leased from Mr. Batman. Batman with a V. Batman. It's my birthday, March 18th. Hell of a hump day. Happy COVID quarantine week. I don't know. So, it's 3 o'clock. I have gotten new tires on my car. Got new shoes on the whip. I went to the bank. Went to the store. Had 2 meetings, one virtual, one in person. So I'm working, man. I'm working. My family came to visit. They're going to stay with me for a few days. So I get to spend some time with the family, which is all I wanted for my birthday. Was to have some time to spend with the family. And, with this whole quarantine thing, I just touched my face. I'm stupid. Stupid. Hand sanitizer. I got hand sanitizer on deck for sale. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't engage in price gouging for crises, but I would do my best to help balance out the access so that people that need it can have it. You dig? So, usually I would be enjoying March Madness. That's been canceled. But I have this tradition every year, my birthday, and it's not on purpose. It's like an accidental thing where every year on my birthday, I'm making money. That's a nice way to say that. I have to work. But as an entrepreneur, it's like I'm kind of always working and I'm kind of always not working, if that makes sense. So one of my clients was like, hey, are you going to be available on Wednesday, the 18th? And I was like, it's my birthday, but of course I'm available. Got to keep the tradition alive, man. I look at that as a blessing to be able to, just be productive and be fruitful and make some cash. Make some cash, right? My wife is so sweet. She got me a present, and I guessed what it was, kind of low-key, which I do a lot. I have this sixth sense about things. And I mentioned, I really want to start a moon journal next quarter. And she was like, funny thing, it's in the mail. I ordered it for your birthday. But since you guessed it, you can have it early. So I've had this in my possession for about a week, but I have not opened it yet. I'm very excited about this. Very excited. Shout out to the homie who shall remain nameless for the moment. I don't know why, but he knows who he is. So this is my first time opening it. Blank page, little moon signals here. All right. The Moon Journal. A journey of self-reflection through the astrological year by Sandy Citron. Chronicle Books, San Francisco. So, I believe my wife said that March 21st, which is the first day of spring, for those of you keeping track. But that is a good day to start. Welcome to your moon journal. So I'm just going to read this one paragraph and then talk about the moon a little bit and then freestyle and get the fuck out of here. I'm busy. I got things to do. It's my birthday. The moon is all about reflection. After all, the moon reflects the sun's light. Following the moon and learning how to harness its energy can help you reflect on your life, your dreams, your goals, and your relationships, and can be a great tool to help you live your best life. Self-reflection can inspire self-discovery, and this journal will show you how. I'm always preaching knowledge of self, determination, because I feel like it's so important and it's so overlooked. It's also an amazing song from the Black Star album. Shout out to Yasin Bey, FKA Mos Def, Talib Kweli. They made some music that was very transformative in a time that I needed it most. And I appreciate y'all for that. I also got to meet Talib on a music video shoot. Save that story for another day. So I'm a Pisces, as you can tell by today is my birthday, March 18th. And I grew up in a very conservative Christian household. They were not about astrology in any form. No form of scientific discovery that's not in the Bible. We don't do that. So they literally thought it was like the occult, that it was the devil, and it was not. So like checking your horoscope. Sorry, I was distracted. Checking your horoscope every day, like at the grocery store, and say, oh, I'm gonna live my life this way. I feel like that's silly, right? You're turning over the power of yourself to make decisions to a third party, which I feel like that's stupid. What I also feel is stupid is completely ignoring it, right? So I didn't know anything about this until later in life. I would say I, graduated high school, moved up to college, was more open-minded just by virtue of being out of the house, out of my town, right? And looking back, so learning about astrology, okay, I'm a Pisces, these are the characteristics, these are the people, the other signs that you get along with, maybe it's some signs you don't, good romantic matches, etc. All these characteristics, right? So I look back in the past and say, well, wait a second, this makes a lot of sense. And the first dots that I connected was my first love, my high school sweetheart, shout out to you, who was nice enough to wish me happy birthday today. I love the fact that we're still friends. That makes me very, very happy. She was born in July. The actual date is not important for this story. And I mean, we clicked, I was very much in love, right? And I mean, we're not married, so we didn't go the distance, as it were. But when we broke up, and the next person I dated had the exact same birthday, and this was in high school, so I wasn't thinking about any of this. But it's like you can't ignore a coincidence, which I don't believe in. Coincidence is merely evidence of divine presence, right? But data should not be ignored. So if we all agree that the moon affects the tide, right? The level of the tide in the ocean, and it's noticeable. You can see the tide go in and out, high tide, low tide. And according to science, it is the moon, the pull of the moon, the gravitational pull, whatever, the mass, it affects the water level. So if human beings, if we are to believe that we are made up of approximately 2/3 water, then it would only make sense that if the moon is affecting the water in the ocean, it's affecting the water in our bodies. So that's an oversimplification, right? High tide, low tide, full moon. They always talk about, oh, strange thing happens when the moon is full, right? There's stories, there's myths and old wives' tales about werewolves and things that happen when the moon is full, right? But if you pay attention, you got to notice Another thing that I noticed later in life as an adult, there would always be 1 or 2 days out the month where no matter what was happening, I couldn't sleep, like the whole night. It would just be a restless night of sleep, or I would just stay up. And it turned out, as I started paying attention to it, it was happening in the same phase of the moon every month. I was like, oh, interesting. So that must mean I have more energy during this part of the cycle. And I don't really keep track of it. I don't. This is all like in the background, software running, in the background. But I wanted to make a more concerted effort, a more conscious effort to pay attention to it. And I thought in my head, like 84 days, right? 28 days for a moon cycle. Do 3 of those where you're paying attention and you're logging your energy, you're logging your creativity, you're logging your fortune, your luck, just how things go. Because everyone's life is like this, right? But there's a method to it. And when I try to explain this to people who have no interest or think that it's all horseradish, I'll tell them about the moon and the tide. That's science, right? The other thing that I will make note of, 1111, is video games, right? When you pick, say, Street Fighter or Tekken or Mortal Kombat, you pick a character that you want to use to fight with, and they're not all equal. Some of them are faster, some of them are stronger, some of them are taller, some of them can take, they can withstand attacks better, right? They all have different characteristics, right? So based on how you play, you pick one that has the characteristics that you want. Some people will pick Ryu, some people will pick Guile, some people will pick Blanca. Why? They have different characteristics. So, the 12 astrological signs as I know them, and I'm not familiar with all of them. I know mine and the ones that I really get along with and the ones that I really don't, and that's kind of it. But I want to know about it more. I want to get a birth chart done. I want to learn all about it. But I think it's silly to think that the characteristics can't be considered and used for your own knowledge and benefit, right? So if you know that you are a stronger person in a certain field, play to that strength. And if you know that somebody has a propensity of being a certain way in certain situations, consider that. If you're going to hire somebody for a certain position, right? And I'm not saying to base your life off of horoscopes, not at all. Or to just base all of your relationships off of astrological compatibility. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying to look at the characteristics just as you would any physical, mental, psychological personality traits. Just consider them, pay attention to them, and see if it makes sense. You may look at it and be like, no, I don't believe it, doesn't make sense, I'm out. That's fine too. But just look at it. Because I think that people, especially entrepreneurs, will make a lot of heavy weighted decisions all the time. And you could plan strategically so that you don't have to make big decisions on days that your energy is low or that you're weak in your personal power, whatever you want to call it, right? Try to plan things so that when you know this is a good time of the month for you, that's when you're doing your most impactful activities. And that's really all that I'm hoping to get from this. That's really the only thing, is like learn the cycle and harness the energy, right? We all know that most women have a monthly cycle related to their reproductive system, right? Men have a monthly cycle too. We just don't have a period where we bleed, but we definitely have energy ups and downs, and I think it can be the cycle. You feel me? Well, you feel me. So I'm gonna keep y'all updated as how this goes. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited to share this and to keep a record of it, so that way I can look back and be like, this is what it was. Here's the data. I'm not crazy. Maybe I am crazy, but I am a Pisces, and I feel like a super Pisces. I feel like a super double Pisces. Shout out to Batman once again. All the creators, all the beat makers, I love y'all. This song is jamming, man. This beat, Bob Ross. This is another one I leased from the homie. It's good to do business with good people, man. And as always, Fresh 2020. know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's my birthday special vlog. I might freestyle for a little longer just to get it off and make sure that I'm satisfied. You want to go to this website, canatonic.co, put in my code. You'll save some money, I'll make a little. That's a symbiotic transaction. Chicken Little, sky is falling. COVID-19. Yeah, I'll have a Corona. I don't really like those, whether or not they have lime. I'd rather have a Negro Modelo in time. Yesterday, I had the Guinness because it was St. Patrick's Day. Plus, it's my favorite beer. And now, I'm about to celebrate another year. Woo! Peace and love, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping up with me. I love you. I appreciate every minute, every eyeball. Peace.